Hey there, fellow entrepreneurs. Let's get real for just a moment. Running a business isn't all sunshine and rainbows. Yeah, totally agree, right? We've all had our fair share of operational mistakes. It's how we learn, grow, and ultimately build a thriving business. So today we're diving into some of the most common operational missteps and how to actually avoid them. And so if you're like me, you're going to grab a cup of coffee, you're going to get comfy, and we're going to learn from my mistakes together. And of course, these are the most common ones. So if you're in these categories and you have done these, well, it's pretty normal at this point, right? So let's talk about those common mishaps that we've all taken, right? We've all really been there. Let's just be real on our entrepreneurial journeys. And also, let's just remind you as we're going through this that these aren't failures. Okay, these are valuable lessons that can help us avoid repeating the same mistakes. And let me tell you, I have made every single one of these. There are 5 of them. And I have made every single one of these mistakes in my business in the 5 years that it has been operational. Okay? Every single one. So, if you are like the whole, put a finger down, if you've done this, I would be putting down all of them. Yep, I have done every single one of them. So you want to join me here and put a finger down here? So underestimating the power of systems. Yep, totally done that. Okay. I used to think that I could handle absolutely everything on my own. But I was very wrong. Building strong systems and processes is crucial for scaling. I learned this the hard way by the entire bottom falling out of my business because I did not have the systems in place. Okay, so the next one here is pretty common, right? Okay, we've already got one finger down here. There's delegation dilemmas, right? Not delegating properly. So I've also been here trying to do it all myself, right? Overworking led to burnout and absolutely led to missed opportunities. And so trusting in your team and delegating effectively is an absolute game changer, right? So I think we're supposed to have 2 down here right now. If you're on the YouTube channel, you can see me fidgeting right now with my fingers. Anyway, the third one. So put your finger down if you've neglected client feedback. Yeah. Okay. I've totally done that. All right. So in the early days, I was so focused on acquiring new clients because I thought that's what you had to do, right? That I overlooked the importance of nurturing existing ones. All right. Which means I was ignoring feedback from those existing clients that ended up being a very costly mistake. Absolutely was. All right. So put your finger down if you've also overlooked your finances, right? Over financial oversights. So cash flow is the lifeblood of any business. We absolutely know this. Without the cash, we can't have a business. All right. I've learned the hard way the importance of proper financial planning and tracking, right? So far, definitely done 4 out of the 5 of these. I only have 1 finger left. Good old pinky. I need some tea, right? Okay. Anyway, the last one here is a very common operational mistake is work-life imbalance, right? Or work-life inharmony. Okay. A lot of people like to say work-life harmony and not work-life balance because we don't actually want them to be even. We just want them to work in harmony, Anyway, so work-life imbalance. So burning the midnight oil might seem necessary, but it's absolutely unsustainable. So prioritizing self-care and setting boundaries is crucial for long-term success. Okay, so make sure, so the common mistake here is just not balancing and thinking you have to work. Okay, and not actually prioritizing yourself. And that's absolutely needed in order to have a scalable business, right? And so we often get caught up in the excitement of launching our business that we neglect to establish actual solid systems and processes. And this can lead to chaos and inefficiency down the line. You will probably not see it. It actually took me a year to actually start seeing everything start falling apart. And then all of a sudden, the entire bottom fell out of my business. And so you have to remember that systems are the backbone of a smoothly run business. They provide structure, consistency, and scalability. And without them, it's like trying to build a house without a blueprint. And I can attest to that. It was definitely like that, which is why I am in this service business right now, is because I saw it happen firsthand. And I was like, oh my gosh, I got to dig into this. And I've got to figure out that blueprint, right? I have to create that blueprint for my clients, right? Because I've obviously done it wrong. And so if I've done it wrong, I've learned valuable lessons, and now I've dug in, and now I'm going to do the next best thing. And that is helping other business owners be able to create a really strong foundation. And so in order to build a really strong foundation, you have to create effective systems. And I'm going to walk you through some 4 steps that can support you in starting to build this strong foundation. And so we want to identify the key processes. And that means we're going to pinpoint the core functions of your business. Okay, that is like huge. What absolutely has to happen in order for your business to run. The second thing we're going to do is you're going to document your procedures, right? You're going to clearly outline each step in the process. And we're going to do this for all the processes. You might have heard me talk about standard operating procedures. We're actually talking about that next week in the podcast episode and how standard operating procedures can help you scale your business. So stay tuned for that. If you haven't subscribed, totally do that so you don't miss it. The fourth thing here in building a strong foundation is going to be using technology, right? So that means leveraging software to automate tasks. All right. This could also be using people, right? Delegation to be able to essentially automate for you because someone else is doing it, tasks as well. So that's a little side bit there. The last one here is continuously reviewing and refining them. There are not like let's just do it once and then like we never revisit them. That's just not how it works, because systems should be living documents. They're not like just kind of there. They're not static. Right? So by investing time in building solid systems, you're going to create a strong foundation for your business to grow on, right? Every business needs efficient and effective, really, systems in order to be able to scale. So let's dive into how to actually build and implement effective systems. And I'm going to actually share with you today my story. And to be honest with you, this is currently where I am in my business. I am in year 5. I've completely pivoted about almost a year ago, not quite a year ago, about 9 months ago. And so I knew what I needed to do, but because I scaled so fast, like it was just overwhelming and I wasn't able to do it. So here's the story though, that's going to help you with actually building effective systems. So I created a framework that is what I consider my operations assessment. And it's based on working with many solopreneurs, but also 6-figure businesses along with my own. Okay, so I'm gathering quite a few different businesses, different types, different parts of their scaling journey is what I'm trying to say here. So I'm going to share 2 very personal stories today from my own journey. And I'm just going to say this right here. Believe me, you're not alone. Okay, if you feel alone in any parts of your business journey, you are absolutely not alone. Some people do not like to voice when things aren't going so well, right? And rightfully so. We don't like to, we feel very like we're beating ourselves up. We feel some shame, but sometimes we also feel alone. And we're like, well, it doesn't matter if I share this with anyone because they won't understand. And trust me, there's more people out there that we're going to get it than not get it. Okay. So rarely do we have any idea what we're getting into when we start our own business. I connected with a network at one of my services and everyone kept referring me to the next person. I had a booming, and I'm talking like in an overwhelming booming referral system going on. And I was bringing in a good amount of money. I even brought my husband home from his full-time job. Okay. The problem was I didn't have a team to support me properly. I didn't have SOPs, which are standard operating procedures. I didn't have those documented. I was so stuck in the weeds, I became incredibly burnt out. I refer to this moment in my business as the bottom falling out of my business. Okay, very simple, straight and to the point. So I have clients that come to me with similar stories. Like I said, you're not alone, right? Scaling very quickly, having at least one team member, and recognizing things don't feel how they want them to. Feeling overwhelmed, overworked, and ultimately really burnt the fuck out. Okay, plain and simple. And that brings me to my second story. I'm currently my ideal client. I pivoted my business model and started scaling very, very, very quickly with no end in sight. Okay, currently I am in this. Since I pivoted and scaled simultaneously, yes, at the exact same time, I had foundations because I'd already had a business for 4.5 years, right? But I haven't had the time to build new workflows or document those SOPs properly for the modified business model. This actually happens more frequently than when you would think, right? And so something clicks, inquiries are coming in, people are joining your offers, and things get crazy and super fast, right? This happens very frequently in business. When people end up scaling, they scale super fast. They've been chugging along, trying to do all the things. Like they're like, oh my gosh, when is something just going to hit and go boom? Like, right? Like it's going to move. You're going to be able to, come up over that hill and just be like, oh my gosh, finally I can coast for a hot minute, right? But no. You're normally something when you get to start scaling, it just goes zoom. It's just off and there's no end in sight. And so I was super thankful for the additional revenue. Of course, who wouldn't be? You're just not quite minding the additional workload. You're just not quite vibing with it, really. but you're not really minding with it. You're not minding it either. Until things became very heavy, right? Very heavy. These things became heavy over time. It was very little overtime. When your workload exceeds your capacity, you start working way more hours, and you start saying phrases like, but I have work to do. You enjoy what you do until it becomes overwhelming, defeating, and ultimately has you questioning everything. Yes, that would be me right now, to an extent. Now, I'm my ideal client, right? I want you to understand that. I am my ideal client right now. And I know exactly what I need to do to remedy these issues that I'm facing, because that's literally my specialty. This is what I do for my business, for my clients. Yet I'm in the same boat as many of you. Buried deep, very, 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 very deep in the weeds. So there's some hope here if you're buried deep in the weeds too. I become my own client, and I'm putting myself through this process because I know it works. I met up with my virtual assistant, and we went through this process together. Shout out to her because she did an amazing job supporting me. Oh, and she's currently also editing this podcast for you, so you can have these amazing tips and tricks and all the things, okay? But she has done an amazing job at supporting me in being able to continue this process along with me scaling. So that's been a whole lot of fun. All right. But to truly optimize your business, a comprehensive assessment is key. So our operations assessment is designed to identify areas for improvement and provide a roadmap for building a robust system. Okay. So here's how it works. We're going to identify the CEO's ideal focus. Okay, that's you. You're the CEO. I am talking to you. We're going to identify your ideal focus. So we pinpoint where you should be spending your time and energy, allowing you to delegate and focus on high impact tasks. That's normally what the CEO is going to want to do, right? They don't want to be stuck in the weeds. They want to be at the higher level. They want to be at the strategy. They want to be the visionary, all those things, right? So after we're done identifying where you really want to be, we're going to then identify what are some of the pain points that you're experiencing, right? We uncover the challenges faced by both you, but also your team to identify areas for improvement, right? We go that extra mile because the team has a different perspective. And so we need to see if it's an alignment, or if we're like, what are we doing? Are we all trying to solve the same problems, or are they all over? Maybe the CEO doesn't know about certain problems. It just depends, right? But anyway, we're going to pinpoint what those are. And then we're also going to optimize the technology usage, right? So we're either going to consolidate, we're going to move things apart, or we're going to, see like what we need to use, what we don't need to use, all things like that. So we analyze your current tech stack to determine if it's being used to its full potential, or if there are opportunities for consolidation or improvement. Okay, because there could be totally different things there. The next thing we're going to go through here is establishing clear operational goals. So we work together to define achievable and measurable objectives for your business. Okay? So we need to have like some clear goals. And a lot of us don't have clear goals when it comes to operational goals, right? We have goals for our business, but how are we going to utilize our operations in order to get there, right? And so creating a roadmap for implementation. That's one of the last things we're going to do. We're going to develop a step-by-step plan to implement changes and track progress. Okay, so that actual step-by-step plan, that timeline, and we're going to also track that progress to see what we've come up with, right? And then the last thing here is providing ongoing support. So we also offer guidance and support throughout the implementation process. And by investing in an operations assessment, this is actually what you're going to get. You're going to gain clarity, you're going to gain focus, and a strategic plan to transform your business. Okay? An operations assessment is going to give you the core foundation that you need. It's going to optimize all of the things, right? All your technology, all your processes, and we're going to remedy those pain points, and we're going to get you as the CEO. The goal is to get you feeling good about where your focus is, and being able to stay in that lane and not stuck in the weeds. That is the goal. And then, of course, we also want the team feeling good, the team that's supporting you. So we're going to wrap this up, all right? By recognizing common operational mistakes and implementing effective strategies, you can significantly improve your business's performance, okay? So remember, it's okay to make mistakes because they're opportunities to learn and grow. And that's what I want you to really take away today, is that every mistake that you have made in your business is an opportunity to learn and grow. And so if you're ready to actually take the next step you can grab the free DIY operations audit that will give you a good first start on assessing your operations in a step-by-step way. Or you can also get some personalized support if you want to, and actually hop into the full operations assessment with me. And you can go ahead and head to the show notes for both of these links to be able to get a customized plan and fill out the work with me form. So I believe in your ability to overcome these challenges and build a thriving business. So go ahead and hit subscribe, as next week I'm jumping into what these pesky little things called SOPs, which are standard operating procedures, are going to do for your business and your ability to scale in more depth. Bye for now.